All right, question number 3. We're going 1 Corinthians now. How can we know what the New Jerusalem will be like?
Oh, man.
1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 9 and 10. Let me throw my glasses on here because I'm getting old.
Yep.
But I see you have yours on.
I've got mine all the time.
Old.
I just need to get them sewn to my head. Yeah. I'm not that much older.
Oh, dude, you are ancient.
No,
man.
I'm a decade. I'm not a full decade ahead of you. I'm in the next decade, but you are not far behind.
You turn the corner, mister. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 9 and 10.
That's why we're studying heaven today, because I'm cramming for finals.
That's right, cramming for the finals. Where am I going to go, Lord? All right, verse 9. But as it is written, eye has not seen nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for those who love him.
Wow.
But God has revealed them to us through his Spirit, for the Spirit searches all things, yes, the deep things of God.
Man, here's what I'm reading there. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard. We are so used to pain and suffering. We are so used to the disappointments of this world, the way it is. I mean, if there's one thing growing up in this world does, is it makes a little bit of a cynic of all of us. Like,
That's right.
Nothing ends well. There's always going to be pain. And Paul is writing here in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 that the way we are now, it's hard for us to even imagine the difference. What is a world without pain or tears or death or suffering? We can't even imagine it. At least that's not everything that he's saying, but I read a part of that there, given the rest of Scripture.
I mean, what's a world like where you're not locking your doors, where you don't have dogs in your house to protect you? They're actually pets. It's as a kid, it's quite funny. As a kid, I had heard this verse and I remember thinking of things that I liked, and then I'd say, "Oh no! Oh, I just thought about it. It won't be in heaven."
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that's quite what God...
I had in one of my churches one time, I put up a big whiteboard, and we tried this exercise because we really can't imagine the kingdom. But I said, let's make a list of things that won't be there. And people were starting to enjoy it after half an hour. Hey, no emergency rooms, no funeral homes, no police force.
That's right.
Someone said, no preacher either. Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, except I think we'll all be preachers. We'll be telling the goodness of God forever. But
that police thing, that's a hard one for me.
No cops, no cops. And what are they going to do?
I don't know, but I'd still like a badge.
Give out parking tickets in heaven?
Yeah. Don't park your I don't know. What do you have in heaven?
I don't
chariots? You ride a...
I don't know. My wife's got
tiger.
a gift
Don't park your tiger there.
My wife's got a gift for getting a parking or a speeding ticket. So if there's one person in heaven who's going to get one, that'd be her.
I can't believe she hasn't been able to talk her way out of that.
I know. I don't know what the issue is.
Man,
I don't know.
You need to teach her some lessons.
Yeah, I know. I've beat everyone so far. Now that I've said that on the air, half the Loveland police force will be waiting for me.
If you're listening out there, it's Shawn Boonstra. Go ahead and pull him over.
And lots of tickets.
Yeah, lots of tickets.
All right, but look at this. We can't imagine it. And it's so much so that in verse 10 it says, God has revealed these things through his Spirit. In other words, he knows we're incapable. We live in a world of sin. It's like all of the gauges on our dashboard are broken. We don't know how much fuel there is. We don't know the RPMs. We don't know our speed. We don't know how old the car is.
Right.
We don't know if it's overheating. That's what sin has done to us. We have no grasp of what a perfect world is anymore because our gauges are broken. We can't even recognize how sinful we are. That's how broken we are. So what does God do? As we get into a relationship with him, he plants something in our heart, and you start looking forward by hope. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 11 alludes to this idea that God has placed eternity in the heart. We still have, by God's grace, a memory of Eden, ever so fuzzy and distant, but we remember the way it was. And so when we look at our broken world, we're comparing it to something. Something says it's not supposed to be like this.
Right.
And so God in his mercy starts showing us what he has in mind. And the deeper your relationship goes with him, the more he shows you, and the more you start to lean in his direction and lean in the direction of this kingdom, because it feels more and more like your genuine home every day.
And the beauty of what you just said there, it is in God's mercy, and he does, once again, here it is, he reveals it to us again. So the mysteries of God he is revealing to us every single day through his Spirit, through his Word, right here in front of me, sitting this Bible, right here, he has revealed the things that we need to know to walk
Right.
with him and to be in that kingdom of heaven.
I remember years ago, the first time I set foot in church. I mean, I went to church as a kid, but then was sort of I still call myself a recovering heathen, but I set foot in this church, and I'd never been there before. Someone had been studying with me, and I came to Christ, and I set foot in the church, and I thought, I don't understand this, but this feels like my home where I belong. And the more I read about heaven, you know, if you had asked me a year earlier, hey, come to church, and I got dragged to church once in a while, did it ever feel like home? No, never.
Right.
What changed? And now I read about, I used to read about heaven and the kingdom and like, oh, not for me. And then as you get to know Jesus, you start clinging to those promises more and more. And whatever heaven is, it begins to feel like home, and God just keeps pulling you that way, saying, you know this is where you belong. And most of you listening out there have sensed you belong somewhere, and you've never been able to pinpoint what it is.
That's right.
God in his mercy will reveal to you where home is.
That's right.
Where home is.
Every year, Shawn, we do a citywide Bible school somewhere, a big city. And it's, how many times do we hear that very thing, where people come in, they learn their Bibles, and they're like, I feel like I'm at home now.
Right.
It's incredible. That's what Scripture has done for us, and that it's going to take us right into that eternal home that God is building for us.
Beautiful. So we really don't know what it's going to be like, but God plants that desire.
That's right.
And we start hearing the call to come home.
That's right.